Welcome back to the Diaries, a sometimes daily vlog where I talk about the process of me becoming a full-time content creator. I'm basically treating this like a diary where I just talk to you about what's going on with me, how I'm feeling at the moment, the processes that I'm going through, the things that I'm thinking about, the content that I'm looking to create, all of that fun stuff. And I'm not sure this one is going to be a particularly happy one, if I'm honest with you, because I've just finished up 2 weeks worth of annual leave at my real job. By real job, I'll put that in inverted commas. I mean the job that I have to go to every day at the moment to ensure the bills are paid, the kids are fed, I'm fed, more importantly, and basically everything that needs to be covered is just covered. Now I'm very lucky / unlucky in the sense that my job is a good job. And by that, it doesn't mean that I enjoy it. It means it pays me really well. And that's not a brag. Believe me, it's not, because I wish it didn't pay me so well. There is a toss-up with that, right? Because I want to go into an industry that is hyper competitive, that is all off my own back, and requires me to consistently be entertaining people in order to make a living off it. And not just entertaining a few people, I need to be aiming to entertain millions of people to be able to make the revenue that I want, or at least hundreds of thousands, a lot of people anyway. Gone are the days of, trying to just build this up one by one. The aim is to get in front of as many people as possible, and with the advent of platforms like YouTube and other social media platforms, it means the potential reach of your content, potential reach, is hundreds of millions. Look at big creators like Mr. Beast. Look at anyone that is going viral consistently, that is getting a significant number of views, that is making a lot of money off platforms like this. They are getting hundreds of millions of views. That's what it takes to make a significant amount of money. Now, I'm not asking for the millions of pounds, dollars, yen, whatever Mr. Beast gets paid in these days. I'm not asking for that. But it's all relative, right? I'm still looking for what most people would consider a significant sum of money. This is why I say it's a good / bad thing, because the amount I need to make in order to sustain myself with this as a full-time career, based on all of my bills, childcare, all of those things, is probably about £2,500 a month. That's less than I make monthly at the moment, but that's what I need to make just to pay off mortgage, bills, kids, food, car payments. But this is part of the problem, right? Having a job where you earn a decent amount of money means that you tend to buy more expensive things. You tend to buy things that cost more money. You buy a house, you buy a car. Maybe you eat out a lot. Maybe you go to the cinema a lot. Who knows? You do things. I've been pretty smart with money for probably the past 5 years. The 5 years before that were pretty rough, to be honest with you. Even though I was earning a decent amount of money, I was consistently spending more than I earned. And then over the past kind of maybe 5 to 10 years, I've got my head around money management and started to manage my money a little bit better. So for a long time, I haven't spent, just get the words out here, I haven't spent more than I've earned, which means I have money left over every month, which is great. At the moment, there's one big thing that I'm saving for, which is my wedding. We're already committed to that. We've got a lovely venue. We've got dresses to buy, videographers to pay for, all of these fun things that it will be a great day, but it's a significant investment. So everything myself and Mrs. Charm are saving towards is going towards the wedding at the moment. After that, it will be saving towards investing in taking a significant amount of time off to try and give this a proper go full time. So what I've been doing over the past 2 weeks is trying to test the theory of what would it be like to be a full-time content creator. I didn't use the time exclusively for that. It was my holiday from work. I wanted to spend time with my fiance. We wanted to take a break, but there was a significant amount of time where I was sat in the cabin, creating content, editing content, and putting stuff together for social media platforms, for YouTube and for whatever else, as well as my normal streaming schedule that I did. But this is the interesting thing for me, is the more money you earn, the harder it is to give that thing up, no matter what you're doing. So I've seen content creators out there who seem really unhappy in what they do, but they've built their whole audience and their income stream around one specific style of content. And for them to deviate away from that means loss of viewership, loss of subscribers, loss of revenue, whatever that might be. So the more money you earn, the more difficult it is to step away from that money. And that's basically the position I'm in at the moment. And that causes a lot of anxiety for me, because when you lose your passion for the work you do, turning up every day and doing that thing becomes gradually more and more difficult. And you might be working with people that you disagree with. You might be working with people who are doing things that you disagree with. You might be dealing with people that you don't want to be dealing with. That everyone has that person at work, right? All those people at work where it's like, if I didn't work here, we wouldn't have anything to do with each other. And, you know, that's not a dissimilar position to I'm in at the moment. So I'm really all in on this thing. And there will come a point where I'm fully all in on it. But I used the past couple of weeks as a bit of a tester to see what it would be like if, you know, what my routine would be if I was producing content full time. And let me tell you, it's not easy. The same problems that you have with work that you don't love, that they exist with the work that you do love as well. Just because you love it doesn't mean it's easy. It might be more tolerable, but for me, for example, I just came to the end of editing my Spider-Man streams. So I played Spider-Man 2 from beginning to end, all live on stream. So I had maybe 30-ish hours worth of content that I had to get through and edit, which meant watching the streams back, you know, editing through. We talked about my editing process, how I go through that. And honestly, by the end of that editing process, I was so sick of Spider-Man, so sick of looking at Spider-Man 2 content, so sick of editing Spider-Man 2 content. Not only had I played the game once, I then rewatched all of that and edited it and been putting it out. So it's still tough. There were still days where I got up and I was like, I really cannot be bothered to go down there and edit more Spider-Man content. I've done it so much. I've spent days and days editing this stuff to put out onto TikTok, and, you know, with varying success in terms of how that content performs on TikTok. So it's still difficult. And this is without even going to the step of saying, right, I'm gonna produce a different type of content, which has its, you know, its own stresses. I've got a couple of ideas at the moment that I'm just so apprehensive to go out and do. And I know I keep going over this, but the idea that it requires me to go out into public and do this stuff and put myself out there is scary. But it's what's the lesser of two evils at the moment. If I'm apprehensive about going to produce content, or I'm apprehensive about going to do content somewhere, there's a certain excitement with that for me. You know, I feel like it's a good fear. It's a good fear to have, and it's an indication that that's the right direction to go, because it's like, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. The other side of me, in terms of my full-time job, it's not fear, it's anxiety. Just a dread of getting up on a Monday morning to go and do this, not being able to get to sleep because you're worried about what's going to happen on Monday, or you're worried about that process of going into work, you're wondering how people are going to be with you, you're wondering what the atmosphere is going to be like. The money doesn't make that any easier. The money makes it harder. The fact that you're earning a decent amount of money makes it even harder to go to that job. When I worked at a call center, 15 years ago or whatever, I was earning minimum wage or whatever that was. There was a sense that you could go, fuck this, I hate this, and I'm quitting. And it was fairly easy to do that. And you think, well, there's a million jobs I can find out there that will give me that amount of money, that I can just go and do, the fairly easy. They might be low skilled. There were kind of 10 a penny, those jobs. The more money you earn, the harder it is to give that up. I remember when I was in college, I was working at McDonald's, but somehow I found a way. I still paid for a car, still paid for insurance. I paid for my fuel, paid for my lunches at college. I did all of that stuff, and I somehow made it through on that small wage. So it is possible, but your life changes and you've got different responsibilities. I've got children that I need to look after. But what I need to cover, and this is the interesting thing, when I've watched a few streamers who, interested in doing it full time, and they've said, they're aiming to cover their whole salary with their streaming income. But that's not what I'm aiming to do. I'm not looking to cover my whole salary. What I'm looking to do is cover my expenses. That's all I want. That's my aim. That is my only monetary aim in terms of streaming. Everything else is focused around just making good shit. I think getting to the point where it's making you X amount of money takes time, takes investment, takes learning. It's a process where it's not going to happen overnight. And my timeline for achieving being a full-time content creator is probably less than the time it will take me to earn that amount of money. So what I'm looking to do is save. I'm very lucky in the sense that I, as I said, earn more each month than my expenses. And I've got things and responsibilities that need to be taken care of. But once those are taken care of, all of the money that I earn in excess to my expenses is going to be invested in enabling me to work at this full time. And the aim is to get to a position where I've got enough money put away that I can work on this for a full year and say, right, I'm going to put everything I can into this, time-wise, idea-wise, creativity-wise, everything I can into this project for a full year and see where I get to. That's the aim. So this is what this video is about, really. This is me going, yes, I'm in a job that makes me unhappy. Yes, there are elements of my life, my work life, that I'm unhappy with. But at the moment, it's a requirement for me to get to where I want to be. This is short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And I'm not asking to be in a position where I'm earning what I earn through content. I'm just aiming to be in a position where I earn enough to cover my core expenses, which, by the way, I will be reducing significantly over the next year or so. That's another part of the aim. It's not a case of going, I want to keep all of these things, the nice car, the fancy holidays, whatever that might be, whatever those expenses might be. It's also about sacrifice. I know I'm going to sacrifice some of those things. Again, I'm saving for a wedding. The car that we have will be paid off next year. My youngest daughter will be going to school in a couple of years. There's all these things coming up where expenses start to drop off, which means I can put more away towards this content goal. This was a bit of a rambly one, but basically what I'm saying is I'm here and I'm fucking dedicated to doing this thing. And I will always be, wherever possible, high energy, super happy, super engaged when I'm streaming in my content. But behind the scenes, there are challenges. And this is with every streamer, every content creator, every person you see where you look at them and you think, maybe you think that they have this idyllic life. My life is great, but there are challenges to it. But I'm telling you, I'm going to fucking get past those challenges because I have to. Because this is what I want to be doing. I hope you enjoyed this one. Enjoyed it as much as you can. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.